Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Good morning. We know that in the larger sutra, the Bodhisattva Dharmakara makes 48 vows to become Amida Buddha. And we know what the 18th vow is because we call it the primal vow, and our temple is called the Honganji, the temple of the primal vow. Now, it's the most important vow because what it does is it assures all beings of being awakened to true reality. And it's very broad and deep. True reality is really knowing how the world and the universe works and how we humans fit into the world to live happily. We say the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, at every service and every event. And we've been suggesting that gratitude is a simple, easy introduction to this experience. But also, Namo Amida Butsu connects us to the deepest spiritual experience we might have. And also, there are many other experiences of it. And so today we'll talk about a couple of other vows of the 48 vows, the third vow and the fourth vow. The third vow says this: if, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land shall not all be the color of pure gold, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. Since all 48 vows have been fulfilled, Amida Buddha is saying that all of us are the color of gold. We look like the statue of the Oscar at the Academy Awards. Isn't that great? It means that we are all valuable, just like the gold statue. Now, let's read the fourth vow. It says, if, when I attain Buddhahood, humans and devas in my land should not all be of one appearance, and should there be any differences in their beauty, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. So the Buddha is also saying that we will be the valuable color of gold, and also that we'll all be good looking. And since he attained enlightenment, this is all true. This might mean that I look just like George Clooney. Sorry, that may not be the point. But what the vows are really saying is that as we awaken to true reality, and when we realize what is true and real, we're liberated from our problems, which is caused by our misguided thinking. Vows 3 and 4 are describing how the Buddha sees us, how we really are, not how we think we are. I think the Buddha was the first psychologist. Our modern psychologists are validating the concepts he taught us, but some concepts seem counterintuitive because we look at them from a shallow view, and yet from a deeper view, they are really true. For instance, most of us probably don't think we're as valuable as gold. We think we have to earn our worth because in the natural process of human growth, our parents continue to correct us. And I see my grandson Corey as he bounces off of walls. Parents have to say, don't be so noisy, be careful, all these things. And so they're doing this out of love because they want us to grow up to be responsible adults. And yet we have the sense that we have to act in a certain way. We have to measure up. So we think that we have to earn our worth. And yet the Buddha is saying we're worth the value of gold. So we have a shallow view of ourselves. The Buddha has a deeper view. We are all golden and good looking. Now, what's the best looking part of you? Also, a second question might be, what's the bad part of you? Now, which was easier to answer? I think the second part, the bad part of you, because we all kind of think of how we might improve. I wish I were taller. I wish I had a better build. I wish I looked like George Clooney. So we all have a shallow view of ourselves. We want to be different. We want to be better. This is dualistic thinking. But the Buddha's view is very deep. He's saying we all look alike in our appearance and beauty. When we're young, we want to improve, and that's good. But so much attention is placed on ourselves. And this is okay for children. And we can think about teenagers, how important it is for them to be a certain way. But as we mature, we gain some humility and we start to think about others. Interdependence, we think about the welfare of others and not so much about ourselves. But sometimes we do see an adult who can only brag about himself, and this is childhood behavior. You know, they talk about how great they are and that they never make mistakes. You know, I'm the best. Do we know anyone like that? Now, there are some adults who are really truly accomplished, and they're very humble. They give credit to others. They don't have to defend themselves. An example, I heard at one time, Kevin Durant was criticized. For those of you who know, he's one of the greatest basketball players. But then he didn't have to defend himself. What he said in response to criticism was that, I'm Kevin Durant. You know, he knew who he is. And I think those of you who follow sports can understand this. Our society is going through a great debate right now. It's about race, it's about gender, about religion, it's about who we may love and what a gender a person might be. And what does the Buddha say about this? The third and fourth vows say that we are all the color of gold and we are all alike in appearance and beauty. But we really all don't look alike. What the Buddha means is that although we may be different, we are all alike. This is somewhat paradoxical. Let's explain it this way. When light goes through a prism, what do we see? All colors. When the sunlight goes through rain or raindrops, we see a rainbow. All the colors. It's a spectrum. It's a range of things. We have black and white, and yet most things in life are gray. Most things are in a spectrum or a range. Even this coronavirus, now we have a Delta variant. When it started out, it was one thing, and now it's different. The virus continues to change, everything changes. About 100,000 years ago, humans roamed the earth. They were different than what we look like now. We're a spectrum. There was one race coming out of Africa, and we dispersed throughout the globe and became different ethnicities, different shades, different features. You know, about less than 10,000 years ago, religions emerged as we know them. And there are many different religions, and there are many subtopics of each religion. So gender identity, you know, this is a spectrum of biology and psychology. We all have different degrees of masculinity and femininity. These qualities are mixed. And who we love goes beyond gender roles. So a shallow assessment might only have a few categories like black and white, male, female, Christian, Buddhist. But true and real life acknowledges the spectrum of all life. This is the Buddhist view. And we see that our DNA will show that most of us have many ethnicities. And in religions, there are many sub-religions in Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism. There are all these different sects and more minor religions. Everything is a spectrum. It's a range. It shows us our interconnection. This week, San Diego is celebrating Pride Week. Each year, for the past few years, our Buddhist temple has had our members and our Taiko group participate in the Pride Parade. We did not do that last year, and we can't do that this year because of COVID. But you realize that the Pride flag, the symbol is a rainbow. The Buddhist flag is similar. It has various colors. It symbolizes the spectrum of inclusion. Sexual orientation or gender identity is not an issue for Buddhists. Reverend Ugui performed probably the first gay marriage in San Francisco in 1975. Rinpoche Bill Briones performed the wedding for George Takei and his husband a few years ago in Los Angeles. We haven't advertised their inclusion, maybe because it's not a big issue for us. But Reverend Amy Umezu recently recommended that we become more vocal about it, and that we tell people that we are an inclusive religion. We've included women in our clergy since the 1930s. Buddhism is very inclusive. Many of these issues in other religions is really not an issue for us. So to sum up, we may all feel inadequate in some form. We feel we must earn the right to be who we are. But the basic message in Shin, the 18th vow and the 3rd and 4th vow, tells us we're accepted just as we are. The Buddha's hand gestures. This means come as you are. His robe is open at the chest where his heart is exposed. He is leaning forward. He is accepting. So the affirmation is that as we say Namo Amida Buddha, we're affirming that we are accepted just as we are. We are okay, both the good and the bad parts of us. We can still improve and be better, but we do so in humility. And we think of others. We accept others just as they are. So for those voices who see things as black or white, good or bad, are shallow. They're kind of simplistic. It doesn't include the exceptions or natural biology, which shows us that everything is in a spectrum, a range of things. The 48 vows describe a pure realm, which is perfect. It's perfect from the point of view of the whole, the universe, 14 billion years. This is the Buddhist view. Our view of what is black and white, good or bad for us, distorts reality. The Buddhist view is that we are all the color of gold and all the same appearance of beauty. The Shin Dharma, the Nembutsu, affirms us as being fully complete. We are accepted just as we are. I would like to end with a Shin poem that in Japanese is sonomama, just right, as is. It goes as follows. You, as you are just right. Your face, body, name, surname, for you, they are just right. Whether rich or poor, your parents, your children, your daughter-in-law, your grandchildren, they are all for you just right. Happiness, unhappiness, joy, and even sorrow, for you, they are just right. The life that you have tread is neither good nor bad. For you, it is just right. Whether you go to hell or to the Pure Land, wherever you go is just right. Nothing to boast about, nothing to feel bad about, nothing above, nothing below. Even the day and month that you die, even they are just right. Life in which you walk together with Amida, there's no way that it can't be just right. When you receive your life as just right, then a deep and profound trust begins to open up. So with that, let us recite the Nembutsu to affirm that in true reality, in the eyes of Amida Buddha, we are truly just right. So please join me in this affirmation by reciting the Nembutsu. Gassho. Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha. Namanda. Namanda. Namanda.